Hi, this is Becca.
And this is Kyla.
And you are listening to Chadderbox. This is a disclaimer that we are not medical professionals and that this research is solely to educate. We are not trying to sway your opinion one way or the other. We are here to creatively educate. So do not change your diet without talking to your doctor first. So now that that's out of the way, forgive me, I'm a little sick, so my voice is a little hoarse. But yes, just forgive me because I will be probably coughing a little bit throughout this. So we don't really have any announcements to go over or anything. We already introduced ourselves in the last episode, so you basically know everything about us. I mean, but I guess let's get into it for the day. We are starting our part 2 episode on the American Nutrition Edition. So we're basically going to go into a lot of ingredients. We're going to go into some history. In my last podcast, we were really only sourcing the Feeding You Lies by Vanny Hardy, which we still will be sourcing that today, but we do have sources from several other articles that we will be hyperlinking in the description of the episode. So if you would like to access those later, feel free. But anyways, let's get into it. So one of the first drinks that is highly restricted or completely banned in other countries is Gatorade. Gatorade is something that I used to drink throughout high school, throughout middle school. I remember when I was in sports that Gatorade was given to us for free. Even at my job, it's been given to us for free. Have you ever used to drink Gatorade a lot, or did you ever?
For sure. I mean, I played sports growing up. Every sport you can think a girl could play, I played it. And I love the strawberry kiwi one, I think is what it was. I loved them.
I loved the light blue one.
But then I got older and I really didn't drink it anymore. I really liked water. I did drink water a lot though at sports, but I did drink Gatorade too. I'd have at least one with me.
Okay, so one thing that me and Eric, which Eric is my husband, one thing that we used to do, or we actually still kind of do it sometimes, is we'll mix alcohol and Gatorade. So we'll put like vodka in some Powerade or some Gatorade.
Eric's let me try it before.
And it's really good, and Eric swears by it because no hangovers, because you're getting your electrolytes and you're getting your alcohol, and it tastes good. Just saying, that would be a great marketing idea if they would do that. Maybe taking out the dyes would be really good. We're going to get into that too. Yeah, Gatorade, I think everybody has drank it for the most part. Unless you're allergic to dyes, I really feel like probably almost everybody has even had a sip of it. And for everybody that you know, possibly, or maybe you don't live in a place where Gatorade is sold. That is possible because, maybe you're drinking Powerade. I can't speak for Powerade because I did not research them, but Gatorade was previously banned throughout the EU because some flavors contained an emulsifier called BVO, which is brominated vegetable oil. In January 26th of 2013, responding to consumer concerns, PepsiCo announced Friday that they will remove brominated vegetable oil, an emulsifier, from citrus-flavored Gatorade that was sold in the U.S. So, the yellow Gatorade. They were going to take it out. California banned brominated vegetable oil in 2023. Guess what year that it was banned in the UK?
I don't know. I'm thinking early 2000s?
They actually banned it in 1970. So,
Oh my gosh.
we're a little late to the game.
Yeah, that's...
What are the effects of BVO on the body? BVO, which is brominated vegetable oil, has toxic effects on your thyroid gland. It can lead to hypothyroidism, and this is when your thyroid gland stops producing or is starting to produce very little of the thyroid hormone, which leads to weight gain and depression. There was a case study done about a person who actually developed a bromine toxicity from drinking a lot of pop and caused permanent damage to their central nervous system.
Oh my gosh.
You had to be drinking a lot of pop, like
really like pop.
2 liters a day, kind of. Like, there's people out there who drink that much.
There are people like that out there. That's the reality.
It's so bad for your teeth, and just for
it made me break out when I drank pop. So
yeah, it does for me too. Like, it's just so much sugar too.
I
Like,
already have oily skin. It just intensifies it.
you know that a lot of sodas, like A&W root beer, just A1. I did not know, but while I was pregnant, I was craving that a lot. And there's more than 20 grams of sugar per can.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of sugar. And I didn't realize I didn't drink that much of it, but it was to the point where I was craving it. And I had to start getting like the zero sugar because I know it's still bad for me, but like at least it's not having like 30 grams of sugar.
It probably is still something else that's replacing that, though. That's even worse.
It's the sodium. The sodium is so bad.
Oh my God.
It's like 110 milligrams or something of sodium. So he must have been drinking a lot of pop to cause central nervous system damage. But here are some items from a Today article in June of 2024 that basically says that there are still certain drinks that contain BVO that are on the shelves today in the USA. And that is Sundrop, made by Dr. Pepper, and Great Value Orangette Soda, which is sold at Walmart.
Thankfully, I've never heard or ever had that in my life.
I don't buy any Walmart. I mean, I barely go to Walmart. I avoid Walmart at all costs because Walmart, every time I'm in Walmart, I have an anxiety attack from some screaming child or some yelling adult or both, or it's just always just.
I just don't have good quality ingredients most of the time.
Yeah, honestly, I do not. I mean, if Walmart is all you have, I'm sorry, because I have been there too. Because when I lived in Missouri, like, Walmart was the closest thing to us. So,
gotta dig deep and look for the best quality.
well, actually, we did have what is it, IGA or like a Save-A-Lot? We called it Save-A-Lot, but everybody else called it IGA. And
right?
it's like the same thing, but they would call it IGA, and then we would call it Save-A-Lot because we were not from Missouri. But they did actually have like locally sourced meat and stuff there. So, and they were a little closer, but I think they had like higher prices, and it was always like, we can't afford that. At the time, anyways.
I get it.
Let's see. There are tips that I have to tell you about sodas that may possibly contain BVO. So, common in citrus drinks. Holy shit! I cannot speak today. It is common in citrus drinks, and it is used to make sure that the citrus does not float to the top of the drink. So it makes sure that it all looks together in uniform. Look for on the back of the ingredients of your drink if it has brominated vegetable oil or if it just says the word brominated. If it looks cloudy throughout the bottle, it might be brominated. And if it is a generic off-brand citrus soda, it is very likely to contain BVO. Gatorade is not off the bad girl list yet because it also has several dyes such as Red 40, Yellow 5, and Yellow 6, to name a few. In the EU, a lot of these dyes are banned for consumption for babies and children. Didn't you have?
Yes. Yes, I did. So, in the EU, it can be found in candy and cereal and condiments such as ketchup. It's not banned in Europe, but it does require the coloring agents to come with a warning label when sold in stores, saying things such as dyes could cause adverse effect on activity and attention in children. So things like those, like with the ketchup and the mustard, you'd have to worry about the red dye number 40, yellow dye number 5, and 6. Specifically, red dye number 3, it was banned in 2008, and it was only permitted in cocktail cherries or candied cherries.
So this was in the EU.
Yes, in the EU.
In the EU, we are talking about Europe. For those of you who do
The European Union.
Yeah, the European Union. The European onion.
The European Union. Hey, at least they're healthier.
Yeah.
So the EFSA had a study, which is basically a group within the European Union that takes control and makes sure everything is done correctly and nothing is got passed in high amounts, basically. So they had a study that an adult would need to consume 30 grams of cocktail cherries to reach the limit of acceptable daily intake of erythrosine, which is basically another word for the red dye 30, the bad chemical that is within red dye number 3.
Erythrosine. Okay.
Erythrosine, yes. It's unlikely to consume it because that's basically 6 ice cream sundaes, 6 Manhattan cocktail, or a lot of Jello salad. So if it's kind of hard to consume that much at a time, they make it hard. So even though they do, I guess it's banned, it's allowed in very small amounts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Yeah, I mean, 30 grams is a lot of cherries.
It's impossible. It's impossible.
But I bet that it would be very easy to get that amount within one day of shopping and literally looking for stuff that had red 3 in it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You could probably get to 30 grams within I would say maybe a few days if you literally only bought food that had red 3 in it.
It would be super quick. I mean, you could just buy the regular snacks. They only permit it in the cherries and the candied cherries. So it's banned elsewhere. But we allow it in.
There's a lot
everything
of
else. It's everything you basically grab off the shelf, I would say. I mean, I feel like it's in everything. I don't know. Yeah. It's crazy.
There's a lot of stuff that I avoid in the store. Gatorade was one of them. I do not drink Gatorade. I do sometimes get the, I think it's a white cherry Gatorade because it doesn't have dye in it. So I will drink that. And there are times where I do want my Powerade cocktail with my vodka in it because
I don't really do
because no hangovers is phenomenal.
Yes. I mean, I like that idea. If it works for you and you only do it sometimes, that's fine.
Yeah, as long as you're not getting out of control. But that's something that I like to do. So just saying, Gatorade, sponsor me, please. Just get.
I might drink more.
But anyways, back to food that is banned in other countries or highly restricted. Number 2 is Kellogg's Frosted Flakes and many other U.S. cereals are banned in the European Union and Japan because they contain BHT. BHT is a food preservative that is used in cosmetics and rubber. Most research links BHT to certain types of cancers, and General Mills has actually made a shift to remove BHT from their cereals, but not all manufacturers are on board with this plan. So they're making moves to remove it, but not all manufacturers have removed it yet. So
they should make you literally, they can't just, we'll get to it. No, it should be like a law, do it or.
Yeah, that's technically the FDA's job, but we're going to get into the FDA later on as we continue. Another food that I actually did not know was banned actually entirely banned in 3 different countries, Sweden, Norway, and Austria. is the Tostitos salsa con queso dip. Tostitos salsa con queso dip. I actually bought that when I was like, oh, I didn't get queso from the store and I wanted queso with my omelet in the morning because I actually like to have a little queso and a little pico de gallo on my
I mean,
omelets.
it's still in stuff too, so it's just like it's it's not awful, but it's the fact that they allow it in so many more other food, right? Like, so it's like the consumption over time and the long-term effects is.
So it's banned in Sweden and Norway and Austria because of the yellow six. It's the amount of yellow six that's in the
Because
product.
it's so much.
Yeah.
You can't. It's not just a regulated amount like the EU has, basically.
Yes, so it exceeds what's regulated in the EU, which is why in those countries specifically, it's completely banned. Like, you can't find it on any store shelves. But I see it every time I go into a gas station and I go in the chip aisle.
But if you think about it, if they can't regulate it because it requires that much, then they can't sell it. Because then the amount that is in it is what gives it what it is. So it's like, oh, never mind, can't do it.
Yeah, Tostitos would, they would lose profits if we weren't buying it. But I'm not going to be buying it anymore. But we're not telling you to not buy it. We're telling you what our decisions are on the subject. This is something that I did know about was Kraft mac and cheese. I actually avoid Kraft and I tried to get the private selection at Kroger.
I think that I love Kraft. That's like the one thing that I love. I've always I like it better than the Velveeta.
The Eric does too. Eric is
like the creaminess, but I also like baked pasta. Like if people make it like French way with like the shredded cheese and all that, that's good too. But if I'm just ready to make a quick one,
no, I've never liked Kraft. I think I like the off-brand ones better for some reason.
Dude, I hated that. My mom would.
I never liked
off-brand ones, and I'd be like, ew, Kraft.
That's how Eric is. He's like, get me Kraft next time.
Do find like offering other stuff. It's just Kraft. It's like the mac and cheese specifically.
I tried to get the Annie's brand, which is organic, and they also have like a chickpea one. And that's actually the only way that I've liked chickpeas so far. I'm very weird on chickpeas. It's like the texture for me. Kraft mac and cheese is actually banned in Sweden, Norway, and Austria as well. And you'll never guess why.
Why?
It's because of the L6.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how to get that pretty color?
Kraft mac and cheese is actually sold in the UK by the same company and has no artificial colors or flavors.
Oh, so they can make it without the yellow six.
It might be a little more expensive to create it that way, but yes, but they do create it and sell it, but they don't sell it to Americans. I wonder why Kraft would create a better, more quality ingredient product and then also create a different version of the same thing that is loaded with toxic poison and then put it on the American shelves in the grocery store. I mean, why would they do that if they didn't care about our health?
They don't, I mean,
this is just a thought. It's starting to look like a trend that a lot of American companies do not seem to care about the health of the American people. And I wonder what would happen if we all woke up one day and decided not to ever buy Gatorade again. How long would it take for them to go out of business with a very serious boycott? Just a thought. Or wonder if our boycott would make them realize, maybe we should take out all of the dyes in our ingredients. Maybe people would start buying our product again.
Maybe we can start somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like no matter what me and you do, unless 500,000 other people decide to start doing that, it's not gonna, like, me and you stop buying Gatorade. Who cares? They got like 300,000 other people in Utah buying it.
Exactly. You need a good amount of people to really make a voice, I feel like.
It's pretty sad to think about. This is also another thought. We could all decide to not go to work tomorrow. Collapse the economy. Give Wall Street a heart attack.
I wish everybody would be on ball for that kind of stuff. But, I mean, but there's those people like, no, it's not true.
When I was in school, there was one thing that I used to do on, like, test days when I was, like, not prepared for a test in high school. I would fake sick.
Really?
I would fake sick, yeah, because they would let me take it the next time I came in. And I'd be like,
I'm just getting that done right away.
I loved school, so I was very studious. I loved school. Anyways, back to the banned foods. Now we're going to be talking about breads. Many U.S. breads are made with a dough conditioning agent that makes the bread spongier. You know what else is spongy? Yoga mats. Because azodicarbonamide, probably not saying it right, but azodicarbonamide is an ingredient that is found in yoga mats and most American breads. Another common additive in U.S. breads is potassium bromate, which is a known carcinogen and is banned in Europe, China, Canada, South Korea, Nigeria, and Brazil, and there are more countries that ban this stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So let's just take a look of a few brands in the USA that actually have this azodicarbonamide in the bread. Number 1 is Wonder Bread. I have bought Wonder Bread for camping trips multiple times because it would be at the UDF, and I'm like, oh, we forgot bread. I'm just gonna get this Wonder Bread.
I've never bought bread at UDF in my life. The gas station.
I have. I mean,
I don't.
When we go camping,
Oh no, girl.
we forget stuff.
No.
We be forgetful. And by we, I mean me and Eric, because when we be camping, we be forgetting all this stuff.
I usually prepare pretty well.
One time we literally went camping and we brought peanut butter and jelly and spoons and knives and plates, and we did not have bread. That literally
Just eat spoonfuls of it.
Just eating peanut butter. So bad. Number 2 of the breads that have this potassium bromate and azodicarbonamide is the Arnold Bakery Light 100% whole wheat bread. Then there is number 3, Earth Grains 100% whole grain. I actually have seen this, and I've seen that brand before. I've also seen Martin's famous pastry shop potato bread.
I don't think I bought any of those breads ever.
I
think I bought the Wonder Bread when I was younger, and my mom did it. It was my choice.
Mm-hmm. And we have actually bought the Sara Lee honey wheat bread. That's number 5. Sara Lee honey wheat bread. You would think that's healthy.
No, not all wheat is healthy.
It's not, as we talked about.
But some people be believing it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's wheat. It's good for you. Oh, yeah, so the great value wheat at Walmart's good for you. Okay.
Probably not. Just probably not. I mean, we're not scientists, or we're not professionals or anything, but according to some of this research, I mean, it's kind of showing that a lot of things at the store that are not good for you.
Oh my god, everything.
But those are just a few breads that are bad for you. There are more, but we just named 5. Potassium bromate, another chemical that is used to condition the bread dough for baking, is still approved for the FDA, although it is banned in almost every other part of the world. And I wonder why that is. Do you want to know the effects of potassium bromate?
I don't, but I have to know. This is going to lead me to just, be more productive and not doing it, eating stuff like that.
Potassium bromate has been classified as a possible carcinogen. Very, very helpful.
Possible.
Potassium bromate has been linked to cancer development in animals as well as kidney damage in humans. What brands are better? Let's take a look at 4 healthy brands that you can find in almost any grocery store. Nature's Own. Nature's Own bread does not contain high fructose corn syrup, and it uses honey as a natural sweetener. Note that Companies are required to list all of their ingredients, so please look for bromated flour, because that's what you would like to avoid. Other companies that do not use bromated flour are Bob's Red Mill, Gold Medal, and King Arthur Baking. Now, back to the banned food list. We're going to keep going down the line. We're going to be talking about dairy and meat products now. Most dairy and meat is prohibited for selling outside of the USA due to the amount of growth hormones that they inject into the animals. USA pork is actually deemed unfit for human consumption. USA pork is deemed for unfit for human consumption by many countries due to the ractopamine that is given to the animals to fatten them up. This article was from the Daily Meal in 2014. So back in 2014,
That's over 10 years ago now.
yeah, that USA pork was deemed unfit for human consumption. Crazy.
Oh.
The article goes on to say that American beef was also banned for reselling in several countries due to the variety of growth hormones, I cannot speak, placed in the animals while they were living. Anyways, we're going to keep going with the meat and the dairy. Chicken is also banned for reselling outside of the USA to several countries due to the fact that chicken is actually washed and cleaned with chlorine.
I literally feel like I smell chlorine all the time when I eat my chicken too, and it messes with me, and I can't tell. Like, not like chlorine, but I feel like it
tastes like cleaner.
It just has like a weird smell to it. Like, and it has like a slight, not like, I'm not saying like, oh, I can smell chlorine, but I know there's like a smelly chemical to it. And then I don't want to like wash it off because then, you're contaminating your like.
People say it's bad to wash it. People say it's good to wash it.
Well, it's because you're contaminating your whole kitchen because you're like, it could just splash and you just have to be really careful because you don't want to contaminate everything and then you're touching other things. But yeah, no, definitely have smelled. I feel like a slight chemically smell. I feel like it makes sense to it. I mean, fucking fuckers. You can't get, and that's even the organic stuff that I get. Like, I get the good quality organic stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm just, maybe it's the good smell.
No, I mean, I have got meat that actually smelled like poison. Okay, so.
It doesn't smell like poison. I just said I can smell like it's not like just meat, right? There's like a coating.
Story time. Quick story time. So while I was pregnant, we had gotten Oscar Mayer brand bacon. And it was because they were out of the regular brand that we normally get. And when we put that Oscar Mayer bacon in the oven, basically permeated the house with a poisonous smell. And I'm not kidding. I was probably 6 or 7 months pregnant. I started throwing up immediately once the smell started permeating the house. And my fiance at the time, my now husband, he was running to me wondering, he said, "What's wrong? Are you okay? I'm throwing up." I said, "Get the bacon out of the house." And I knew it was the smell of the bacon because it literally smelled like chemicals. It just smelled like chemicals.
It's like when you were pregnant, you could, right? You're pregnant.
Yeah,
it would smell through the fakeness.
I do not know what it was, but I was like, it smelled. And he said, "I don't know what poison smells like." And I said, "It's just a foul smell." And he's like, "It smells like bacon to me." And I said, "No, that was not whatever that was. It just smelled terrible." So I don't know if Oscar Mayer has poisonous bacon or not, but I had an experience with it, okay? I will never buy that crap again. I will not buy Oscar Mayer bacon.
That's crazy.
Ever again in my life.
The cool thing would have tested it with another bacon.
Yeah. I mean, I did not eat bacon actually for the rest of my pregnancy after that. I avoided it.
It's crazy.
But it wasn't, even though I would go to Waffle House and I would smell that bacon, it smelled nowhere near as bad as the Oscar Mayer brand. It's terrible.
That's crazy. I don't know if I've ever actually bought Oscar Mayer bacon. I actually don't buy bacon much anymore. I do turkey bacon.
I don't eat bacon very much either. Turkey bacon. I actually, speaking of Waffle House, no, I want Waffle House.
We're talking about food right now.
Talking about a lot of
But
food,
not,
though.
we're talking about bad food that I'm not in the mood for, but we can't start talking about stuff that I would want.
I do want a good
Shoulda,
waffle.
woulda, don't.
I want a waffle and coffee. Oh my god.
I want a chicken hash browl.
Oh my god. Yes, let's
With
go.
a little bit of Tabasco.
Be right back. We're going to Waffle House.
A couple GMOs.
Just a few GMOs for the road for us.
Hey, I don't eat chicken. I eat no pork.
Well, back to the meat situation. Ractopamine is a controversial growth hormone that is commonly used to increase the muscle mass and reduce the fat content in pork. Studies have linked consumption of ractopamine to increased heart rate, high blood pressure, muscle tremors, weakness, anxiety, insomnia, and it also can display carcinogenic effects. International bans on pork are from countries China, Russia, the European Union, Taiwan, and South Korea. It's really making me question why I eat pork at all, because if they're banned in all of those countries because of the ractopamine, it seems pretty concerning. Now we are going to get into dairy. Most non-organic dairy from the U.S. contains R, as in rabbit, BGH, which is recombinant bovine growth hormone, or recombinant bovine somatotropin, which is rBST. These are lab-generated synthetic versions of growth hormones that are naturally produced in cows. So the use of rBST is actually banned in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the UK, the European Union. So you're not going to find American milk outside the US. I would say you're probably not going to find it when you go to China, Japan.
They still got that milk that comes to your door type shit. I'm just kidding.
I wish we did that. What does rBGH do to your body? rBGH, which is the synthesized growth hormone, is also mixing with other hormones which are in the cow that are injected by, the same companies. Another one is IGF-1. This is an insulin-like growth hormone to increase the sugar of the cow's milk. According to studies from 1999 and 2007, these two separate studies showed that this rBGH hormone that's ingested by humans poses significant cancer risks to both men and women. What does rBST, the somatotropin, do to the body? It has basically the same effects. Causes cancer after, ingesting it a lot. How can you prevent this? Buy dairy products that are labeled rBGH or rBST free, or just go organic or go local. Get your milk from a local dairy farm, and if that's too far from you, find a local Aldi, or I don't know. I mean, I feel bad for some of these.
This Whole Foods.
You should. I mean, yeah, you can look there for sure. I mean, Whole Foods does. I mean, they say that they're an organic food store, so I don't have one that's near me, but I do feel bad for people who live in cities such as like LA and New York, because I wonder, like, do they have a lot of sources of getting organic milk? I don't know. It's just something I don't know. I'm a Midwest girl. I'm a Midwest princess, like Chapel Roan. Just kidding. Chapel Roan is my mother. Anyway,
Probably older than her.
I think we're like the same age or around the same age. So now we're going to go into what is the FDA's job according to the FDA. The FDA is, if you don't know, the Federal Drug Administration. And according to their website, the FDA monitors food products to ensure that what is written on the package is not misleading or inaccurate, and it can, when necessary, take action against a food company. Domestically, warning letters can be followed by enforcement actions such as seizures of the product. Imported foods can be detained until the importer can correctly label their food. Kind of a rough quote, not an exact verbatim quote, but it's very close to what you will find on the FDA's website as what they think their job is. According to a spokesperson for the FDA, they said, ultimately, we want consumers to be able to make informed choices about their foods, and the FDA's job is to make sure that the consumer knows what they're getting. So now we're going to get into what you need to avoid at your local grocery store. Number 1, dyes. Kyla, what do you have on dyes?
So, such as I was mentioning before, the red dye number 40, the yellow dye number 5 and 6, they aren't banned in Europe, but they just require basically a warning label in all stores so you know if there's any type of effects or anything that would be on you. But there is not too much information on that with the European Union, but they just regulate it heavily, very heavily when it comes to everything. If they do allow, because they do allow it, it's not a ban in the European Union.
It's just heavily restricted.
Yes, very so heavily,
especially for infants and children, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's implies for the activity and attention in children. It specifically says that, so. It has probably more of an effect on children and whatnot than it
That's red 40. So red 40 is a dye that is linked to hyperactivity and ADHD tendencies in children and can also develop or can potentially develop multiple types of cancers if consumed regularly. So let's say your diet consists of, let's just say, nacho cheese Doritos, red Dum-Dums, red Gatorade, Pedialyte, the red Pedialyte, and Fruit Loops. Let's just say that that's your diet.
Or that's something that you eat on a regular as a snack, or your regular drink, or your regular morning breakfast, or your regular snack.
Yeah, the red dye is not good for you. That's red 40. Then there's red 3.
So that's actually banned, but it's banned, but it had the permitted, the cocktail cherries and the candied cherries, like we mentioned. So that actually got banned in 2008 by the European Union. That specifically one, I don't know if it's just much worse.
Red dye 3 is linked to thyroid cancer, breast cancer, and chromosomal cancer.
I feel like that seems a lot more worse than the other. I mean, obviously the other ones are not bad, but that seems a lot more life-changing, literally. So that's why that one got banned in 2008.
Well, the red 40 is also linked to multiple types of cancers, but it probably consumed in very copious amounts.
Because the other one is more things that you would more likely see yourself using.
The ibuprofen.
The medication, yeah.
Ibuprofen has red dye 3, and this is the Pure Aid brand.
I think that's the biggest thing I would say out of a lot of things that have it is that, because people take ibuprofen like it's their fucking life. Mm-hmm. I'll be like, that's gonna tear. I always tell people that's gonna tear up your stomach. I don't know. That's all I know. Tear up your stomach.
Sometimes I feel like I have to take it because I have a headache so bad and it feels like it helps my headache. But I also don't know, is it a placebo effect or is it actually helping me? I don't know.
Yeah, I feel that.
But I have taken it.
Did I just make myself feel better?
The placebo effect. The placebo effect is real. It's real. Look that up. There are other things that have red dye in it, such as she already mentioned the maraschino cherries. The Great Value brand specifically has it. Probably a lot of other ones too, but Nesquik, the strawberry, that has the red dye 3. Also the Suddenly pasta salad.
Which one? What flavor?
It's ranch and bacon.
Dude, that's my favorite.
Betty Crocker. Oh,
my mom. Well, not my favorite one. My mom makes that crap growing up. It's good, and I get the Italian one too. But that stuff is good.
I've never liked this kind.
But my mom made it growing up, so you know when your mom makes something that's just something that you like growing into, like growing up liking it.
Yeah.
You just like, I'm not, just don't judge me for this. I haven't had it in a while, but Vienna sausages.
Good.
I haven't had them in a while, but like when I see them, I'm like, those. I mean, I would eat one if it was mine, but I don't buy them. Like I don't go buy them.
Okay, you know what's so funny is we had this guy, and I think he was like in middle school, but he would always bring in Vienna sausages to
I like
lunch.
it refrigerated too.
Oh my god, they're so gross. We would make fun of him, and like I would hear the other boys say, they're like, "That's gay." Like, what?
I
That's
actually
so
heard that they're not
gay.
that bad for you compared to like the other like canned meats.
Vienna?
Yes.
Well,
We'd have to look into that some more, but I like remember just hearing that growing up. So
that's so funny. Eric likes Vienna sausages.
and
I do.
like once you refrigerate them, it gets it out of all that goop. I don't think about the goop. The goop's nasty. That might be a bothersome word for you because it bothers some. I don't know. Medicine that it bothered.
Goop.
So I didn't mean to say it. And I didn't mean.
I feel like Goop would be a good name for a cat.
Oh my god! Don't. That's like moist. Sorry, anybody. You can just mute that part if you need.
Moist.
Come here, moist. What was the other one? Oh, come here, moist goop. Ew. Ew. Regret. 2005 regret.
Oh my god. All right, back to the dyes. Hey, this is Chadderbox. All right, we're going to get off topic here at times. I mean, it's literally in the name, so expect it.
Not sorry.
Yellow dye 5. Yellow dye 5 is linked to thyroid cancer, breast cancer, hyperactivity, chromosomal damage, and thyroid tumors. I wonder what things have this yellow dye 5 that I didn't know about before this research.
Oh my god. Don't tell me.
Mount Olive pickles.
Oh my god, my boyfriend loves that brand and I usually get it for him. Like I like the Velastic.
This is the one that has like
the bird.
Yes, I was about to say like the stork on
The
it
stork.
or whatever.
Oh my god, I like those ones, but he likes the Mount Olive. Now I know what reason we ain't gonna put it up in the house. Yellow.
You know, I normally just get the Kroger brand of pickles because it actually says no artificial dyes or flavors.
I guess
I've actually got the Aldi pickles a few times, and they've literally, like, when I opened it, it didn't make that sound.
Oh, I mean that they have like the Mount Olive brand there too.
Oh, really?
I think so. They have like that brands like that.
I used to get Mount Olive, but I did not know that all the dyes were in it. This was actually years ago. I decided to look for food that has no artificial dyes or flavors because it just tastes better to me, anyways. Other things that have the yellow dye 5 is the Budget Saver assorted twin pops. I've not seen those in my grocery store, but you may have seen them.
Yeah.
There's the Sour Patch Kids and Swedish Fish. I know you have probably heard of these candies if you don't live under a rock. Or the peanut M&Ms. I love the peanut M&Ms. I like the peanut M&Ms more than the peanut butter M&Ms.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, they keep just trying to add more and more to it. It's just like, just keep the freaking original.
Mm-hmm.
Like, stop trying to add all these fake more, like all these new flavors that are just weird. Like, I'm not talking about like those candies, but they've just come out the weirdest flavors.
Oh, Skittles?
Or just any candy, and you know it's fake as crap.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's not good for you. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. Then there is also the Betty Crocker Rich and Creamy Vanilla Frosting.
Just make your own.
I love. Okay, I've tried to make homemade frosting before. I've never made it to where I actually loved it. I guess my sister has done it.
Put whipped cream on the damn thing.
On a cake?
I love whipped icing, baby.
I love whipped icing. But see, I don't know how to make it. I'm gonna have to try to make it.
Just whip it.
Whip it real good.
Just get some heavy whipping cream. Pinterest is your BFF.
Next dye, we're going to go into yellow 6 dye. Or sorry, it actually is is listed as yellow dye 6, so maybe I said it wrong. Yellow dye 6 is linked to hyperactivity, adrenal cancer, testicular cancer, kidney tumors, and adrenal gland tumors. Yellow dye 6 can be found in lemon jello. Oh my god, I bought that. I've actually bought that recently. Well, I made it in a lemon bar dessert.
Don't. Sometimes at work, don't.
Okay. Fanta, the orange flavor. I've drank that before. Fruity Pebbles. Don't like Fruity Pebbles. I liked Cocoa Pebbles. But my man loves Fruity Pebbles. That's his favorite cereal. And I literally tell him I've tried to buy the off-brand for it. He says, no, give me the poison.
I haven't had that since I was a child.
Yeah, he's eaten it a few times with me, but
You don't eat cereal, really.
I get off-brand cereals only. I get them from Aldi now. They're not the greatest, but they get me my cereal fix. Okay.
I just get the non-GMO one that I like.
Yeah. I like the Golden Grams. That's what I love.
It's called the Great Grains, and it's just grains and granola. That's good.
I should try that.
It's plain, but I like it.
I should try that. I like to put that stuff on my yogurt. Like as granola.
Okay, that's good idea.
But another thing that has yellow dye 6 is fruit roll-ups, fruit by the foot, and Gushers. Which I hated Gushers as a child.
I like Gushers. Unfortunately, I love them.
I would squeeze them and get all of the...
I love that.
My brother would say, stop being so weird and just eat the stupid thing.
You freaking freak.
I did not like Gushers, but I did like fruit roll-ups, though. But
they're the same thing. It's because it didn't have the thing in the middle.
It didn't have... Yeah, I didn't like the Gushers. I was such a weirdo. But I did eat fruit roll-ups and fruit by the foot. Did anybody used to actually play with their fruit by the foot before they ate it? Because I used to spin it around both of my fingers and bite into it. Play with it.
I don't remember. My memory sucks, but I probably just ate the crap out.
I know I ate it as a kid.
I just pushed it in my mouth. I was like, I was just pulling it in as I ate it. So no, I would just pull down.
And last thing for yellow dye 6 is Airheads, which that is something I've not eaten as an adult. That stuff, I used to joke as a kid saying that this tastes like candle wax.
It's so weird. I've eaten those, but I don't eat them. I don't go and get an Airhead at the store.
Babe, I'm going to get an Airhead.
Something. It's a take 5.
As a kid, I used to say that. I used to say, this tastes like candle wax. I would not eat them. But they were very popular. Next, we are going to do Blue Dye 1, which is the last one of the dyes that we're going to cover. Blue Dye 1 is linked to hyperactive behavior, asthma, kidney tumors, and chromosomal damage. What has Blue Dye 1 in it, you ask? One of the items is avocado ranch from Hidden Valley. I hate Hidden Valley ranch.
Yeah, it's so nasty tasting.
Yeah, I always try to get... I'll get off-brand.
Somebody just told me to get Lighthouse, so I'm going to try that.
Oh, that's the one I was thinking of!
They said it tastes like
ranch from a steakhouse or something.
Yeah,
it tastes really
good. Restaurant.
Other things that have Blue Dye 1 in it, very obviously, the Hawaiian Punch. And I've never liked those. They're terrible. Hawaiian Punch. Yep. Ew. Oh, I actually like this.
You don't even have to tell me you like it. I didn't even have to know about the bad ingredients in it. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have liked it before. I don't like them. I'm not a normal American.
I'm not a normal American. I
don't like biscuits and gravy. I don't really care much for pizza. I mean, go ahead, smite me. I don't care.
Hey, I mean, we all have our preferences. I mean, and our taste buds change, so you might be eating pizza every day starting tomorrow.
No, I won't. No, I won't, honey.
Other things that have Blue Dye 1 is sprinkles. A lot of brands. Just literally look on the back. See if there's Blue Dye 1 in it. Maybe if it's organic, it doesn't, but for the most part, a lot of sprinkles you're going to find have the blue dye one. And probably a lot of the other ones that we mentioned. Then there is Pedialyte Advanced Care Berry Flavors. Blue dye one is in those too. You have to look for specifically on the box where it says dye-free. And I would know because I actually had to buy Pedialyte for my son a few weeks ago when he was sick. So I actually did not know that. I would have thought that Pedialyte, which is for children, has no dyes in it.
You thought wrong, honey.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Well, did you know?
Then there is the last thing, which is Sour Gummy Worms by Trolley. I eat them occasionally, but I do not go out of my way for them.
Mm-hmm.
I think I more eat them if they're around, like if like somebody has them next to me.
With all that stuff, it's like only if it's like someone has one or something.
Yeah, like I'll have like one or two, but like I'm not gonna go out of my way to buy a bag of sour gummy worms. Never. Well, why are food dyes dangerous? Food dyes are dangerous because they are made from petroleum. In summarizing, I think we mentioned almost all of them contribute to some kind of ADHD, which most of us have. Just kidding, I'm not going to speak for all of us, but I have it, and I know Kyla has it because she's told me before that she knows that she has it.
You say I do.
And I'm married to somebody who has it, and I am pretty sure that my son has it.
Yeah, so screwed from all that crap.
Yep, it was all those Rice Krispie treats that I ate.
There's all of the Fruity Pebbles my mom gave me.
Then there is the other reasons why food dyes are dangerous is because some of them contain benzene, which is a known carcinogen. They are also estrogen enhancers. Higher estrogen causes more hormone-related issues. So,
fun.
Good for us.
I love that. Those are hormone issues I have to deal with. Maybe y'all might have to, so I'm sorry to maybe think about it. Just a little bit. For your sake.
Yeah, she's not telling you what to do, but she is kind of telling you what to do. I'm just kidding. No, she's not.
For love. This is with love.
Other things to avoid in your local grocery store are artificial flavors and natural flavors, which natural flavors are better for you than artificial flavors. Artificial flavors come from their derivatives are not found in nature. Artificial flavors are used more in American culture than natural substances because it is cheaper to manufacture in a lab than to source from natural ingredients. So natural flavors are, they're just substances that are derived from nature. So found in plants and animals. One thing that we're going to talk about is, some artificial flavors that you didn't know contained, just certain ingredients. One of those things is, where does artificial vanilla flavor come from that is found in Coke and Pepsi products? Do you know?
No, I don't.
It comes from wood pulp, which is sawdust. So you might want to look up what foods contain sawdust or wood pulp. It's pretty shocking, the few things that I learned. I already knew that this stuff was in Parmesan. That's something I already knew.
Pre-shredded Parmesan.
Yes, not the block, but the stuff that you find like in the bottles.
Other thing, is that in like all cheeses? Or just Parmesan?
It's in all the shredded cheeses
too. That's what I thought. It's all in all shredded cheeses. That's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm. It's also in granola bars, bagels, veggie burgers, boxed cake mix.
Just make your own cake from scratch.
It's so much better anyways.
And it's easy. So easy.
It's also in some hot sauces. Packaged cookies, which cookies are my literal weakness. I freaking love cookies, whether they're healthy or not. I'm a cookie girl. I am a cookie girl more than I am a candy bar.
From scratch, that can be good for you.
Yeah, I mean, you can make healthy versions of cookies for sure, like the no-bake ones.
Mm-hmm.
I
like no-bake.
I love a good cookie. I love a good cookie. But, one of my favorite cookies growing up was Chips Ahoy. I did not like Oreos as a
I like
kid.
Keebler's, the chocolate ones.
I used to love Chips Ahoy cookies.
The smaller one, I think.
Oh, I loved those. Those were good too. I also love what is it, Girl Scout cookies.
They probably made better ingredients for them back then, at least. Hopefully. Because over
Mhm.
time, there's like less and less quality ingredients.
Yeah, due to overconsumption. Back to the list. Ice cream, coated nuts, and sausages. They say, and by they I mean researchers say that there are benefits to eating the wood pulp, aka sawdust, and their benefits to our body are increased fiber, improved digestion, and weight management aid. Excessive amounts of wood pulp ingested in humans can cause bloating, gas, reduced absorption of nutrients in the intestines, and other gastrointestinal issues. So I guess if you're eating all of those things that I listed above all the time, and you maybe experience a lot of bloating, it's probably why. The reason why people say that, you know, eating wood pulp in small amounts is good is because cellulose is basically what it is. Celery, if you ate celery all the time, like for every meal, you'd be in the bathroom a lot. There's a lot of fiber in that. Yeah, and the cellulose. The cellulose is not able to be digested by humans, so it can improve your digestive tract. Food for thought.
That's honestly, I didn't think about that, but I have low fiber, so anything will help me out.
I used to eat celery with peanut butter as a kid.
I just ate celery the other day.
Yeah, it's good for you. Now we are going into the last topic that we are going to cover before we end this session for the day. And our last topic is GMOs and Roundup. What do they have to do with each other? Well, let's see. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, the FAO, this is an insertion or deletion of genes that enhance the nutritional content, give food longer shelf life, and has better resistance to insects. GMOs are also considered bioengineered ingredients. One person commented on a post about GMOs. How is it ethical to change the organism's genes and DNA and make the product completely unnatural? How is this good for the human body? I mean, it makes a point.
For sure.
According to a Forbes article in 2019 by Eric Kobayashi Salmon, here's the real reason why GMOs are bad. This is an exact quote. The reason why this stuff is harmful because most of the food labeled with this warning label, which is bioengineered food ingredients, means that these foods have been treated with Roundup, which is glyphosate. Roundup is a weed killer, and the Roundup and this industry has played a significant role in the recent absence of the world's greatest pollinators, the bees. The importance of which cannot be understated, because what happens when we lose the bee?
Crap. Probably.
Bees are the essential pollinators for many plants.
Have you ever seen Bee Movie? I'm just saying, think about it, you guys.
Yeah, watch the bee movie. Very educational. If bees went extinct, this would devastate our Earth's ecosystems and globally put a stop to food products. It would globally put a stop to a lot of food products. Not all of them, but a lot of the important ones. It would also increase food prices significantly, decline cotton production, and affect the insect world entirely. Bees have an important role in nature. California Almond Board has been campaigning for saving the bees for years, and their spokesperson said, Almonds cannot exist without bees, as well as coffee, apples, avocados, onions. Several types of berries rely on bees to pollinate them. And just imagine what would happen in our lifetime if we had to do without all of those things. And that's just a few things. No coffee, no almonds, no almond milk, no apples, avocados,
That would suck.
no strawberries, no blueberries.
Especially the coffee.
Oh, the coffee would be the worst.
I'm like, I love, but
You're like, not donkey, no.
no, I don't care if it's one of my Stokes at home.
What can you do to help the bee problem if these industries at large are not going to help? What can you do? Well, you can support your local honey farmers. So that means don't buy honey that's, when you're shopping and it says made in Canada or made in Korea or made in Taiwan. Try to get honey that says it's made in your state. Locally sourced honey is so good for you. And there's actually somebody here in Cincinnati. She owns a little business called Save Your Bees. You can look them up on Facebook, give her a like, give her a follow. She is a wonderful human. I'm not being sponsored by her, so I'm not going to say her name or anything. But she basically owns this business where she first of all has bees, but she also teaches people how to run their own bee farm. She also makes candles, soaps, lotions, infused teas and honeys. She does a lot of really good stuff. And if you want to buy some locally sourced honey that's not found in the grocery store, but that's in Cincinnati, you should definitely follow Save Your Bees, and you can order from her online. She sells programs on how to farm your own bees, and it is also proven by the Frontiers in Pharmacology that local honey can significantly reduce allergy symptoms. I knew that, but I needed to be reminded again.
I don't know if I do that, but I do try to get local honey. I go to like places around here that at least recently to get the honey.
There's also a farmer's market that I've went to, which is really good. But there are other good things that honey can do to your body, which is improve digestion, and honey also contains naturally sourced antioxidants, enzymes, and vitamins, no matter where you buy it from. So honey is a superfood, I would say. It's a natural sugar, but it's overall in small amounts. It's good for your health. Now, back to the topic of GMOs and Roundup. While Roundup weed killer is also killing plants, it is also killing us. And we are being fed a poison that is regularly allowed by the FDA because it is sprayed on any crop that is not labeled as organic or is not organically sourced, or if you're buying something that doesn't have the organic label on it, there is a very high probability that you are buying something that has been sprayed with Roundup. And one thing that really bothers me when I go to the grocery store is, why is it that the organic strawberries and the not organic strawberries, the organic ones cost like $2 more, but the not organic ones are cheaper? Why is that? It's almost like they don't want us to buy it. It's like, oh, well, this one's cheaper. It's in my budget.
Exactly.
Because I've done it before. I've been like, I can't afford the $6.99 strawberries. I gotta get the $4.99 one.
Exactly.
Because I don't have that much money. So,
yeah, I get it. It's like they lead you. It's marketing. It's the marketing.
Because a lot of people are not informed, or they just feel like, they can't afford it, or they just feel like organic's not that much better for you. Who cares? There's probably people who think that, but there are people that think that. How do you take steps to avoid having Roundup weed killer in your diet? Well, look for organic on the labels of your products. It has been shown that people who consume more organic products have significantly improved gut health compared to those who do not eat solely organic foods. Organic food helps brain development in children who eat more whole foods and organic foods compared to families who do not control the amount of processed food their children eat. So it's good for the brain development of the children. For the children!
I love organic. All the way, baby.
I love organic, but it is expensive. Something that really scared me through this research is that not even the babies are safe. Because according to Feeding You Lies by Vani Hari, Roundup weed killer, small traces of it can be found in infant cereals, such as Puffs. If you're not getting the organic Puffs, your baby might be ingesting that stuff. So these babies who don't even have a choice, they don't have a choice. They're babies. We're the ones making the choices for them. If you're not getting the organic Puffs or the organic,
just be more mindful, I guess, of what you get your kids.
Yes, because it will also help their hyperactivity as well.
It'll affect them long term. You might not see it now, but it'll affect them later.
Well, I'm going to read this little excerpt from an article, and after that we are going to end it there. Increased consumption of foods that contain Roundup have shown increasing cancer risk to humans and animals who consume those foods. In 2015, the World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer, that's the IARC, concluded that glyphosate is a probable carcinogenic. Increased consumption of foods that contain Roundup have shown increasing cancer risk in humans and animals who consume those products. And in 2015, the World Health Organization International Agency for Research on Cancer, the IARC, concluded that glyphosate is probably carcinogenic to humans. Well, no shit. Anyways, the IARC study aimed to identify hazards that can result in cancer outcomes, but it did not consider the risk of exposure to doses that are likely to occur in the environment. Put another way, the IARC asked, can glyphosate cause cancer under any circumstance? Based on this criteria and other probable human carcinogens, including red meat, working third shift, and indoor emissions from burning wood. In 2016, the EPA evaluated the carcinogenic potential of humans at doses relevant to the human health risk assessment. In contrast, the EPA assessment accounted for the likelihood of exposure in order to quantify carcinogenic risk based on the review of epidemiological studies. I probably didn't say that right. The EPA says that there are no evidence of association between glyphosate exposure and numerous cancerous outcomes. And this is a direct quote from the IARC. And now we are going to end this here with a quick summary of all the good things that we covered, which is maybe organic is better for our bodies. Maybe.
Yes, I think so.
Locally sourced food is proven to be better for our bodies, such as honey or milk or meat.
Yeah, at least you know what's in it.
Mm-hmm. And maybe just possibly you may need to limit your exposure to processed foods. Maybe.
It's like one of the biggest ones, I would say.
Maybe.
Like that's like number one. Just like think like, because like to eat isn't to. I mean, there's no beneficial value when you eat those things. So, you know, I get you like to eat, you know, make you happy, but that's not really how it should be. So take a step back from all the processed foods, maybe, and maybe you'll feel a little better.
Maybe you won't feel as bloated. There through this research, there are certain things that I'm going to be avoiding for myself, and I hope that this research was very informative to you. We are hoping to be creatively informative. We want to teach you guys things that, that we learn ourselves to teach. So we are just hoping to be very, creative teachers in this space. So don't do any sudden drastic changes to your diet without talking to your doctor. But thank you for coming to Chadderbox. Keep it chatty.
Keep it nice.
Keep it sweet.
Because
we will not be keeping this short.
Thank you for being here with us.
And we hope you have a very organic,
non-GMO.
Non-GMO day.
Non-GMO. Non-GMO.
Bye.
Non-GMO.